Hey, this one's different. I'm joined with Matthew. Matthew.
Hello?
And we're going to be talking about a subject. He doesn't know about it yet. So this is a little bit of a thing. I was going to do this one in a radio news, whatever the hell I'm still calling that show. But it just kept getting spicier. And normally we cover, video game news, movie news, TV show news. We don't usually do drama. So I figured, okay, well, because it's getting spicy, because it's leading into it's back and forths are starting to happen, I figured that this had to be a standalone. And then Matthew here was testing out his mic, and we just figured, we're gonna try a new format here. But the story is, Matthew, Randy Pitchford is in hot water for his negligent comments regarding the price point of Borderlands. So I'm gonna fill you in on this, and then we'll discuss and debate. So somebody reached out, a fan of Borderlands, reached out to Randy Pitchford, who was doing a bit of a Q&A over on his Twitter for a bit. The user by the name of Old Golds OT asked Randy Pitchford, the creative director and CEO of Gearbox Entertainment, the creators of Borderlands and the sequel to be Borderlands 4, responded to him. So the question was, hey Randy, any idea as to what the exact price point is going to be? And if $80, that seems a little too much, what should we do?
Yikes.
So Randy said, and he responded really poorly. He said, A, not my call. B,
Ooh.
if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Oh,
My
that's
local
fucked.
My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Wow.
$80 back in the 90s?
Yeah, but even then there's still inflation. We'll get into that one shortly. But So he was responded to. The Baldur's Gate 3 publisher criticized Randy Pitchford after he heard his comments. At first, he only said one thing, and it was one simple word, and it was simply this: gross, in a reply to the IGN article that basically was covering this Randy Pitchford fiasco. He then doubled down and said, inflation exists. We give inflation bumps. For example, this is very AFK, who is a developer and publisher over at the folks that make Baldur's Gate 3, by the way, saying this. He said, inflation exists. We give inflation bumps, for example, to employees, and price increases can make sense. But saying real fans will find a way is gross, because it assumes your game is more important during a cost of living crisis than, for example, making it day to day. Randy then responded to all the allegations and all the things. Randy doing what he normally does. Randy Pitchford, if you don't know too much about him, he's a guy who basically every time controversy comes his way, and it has come his way a handful of times over his tuner at Gearbox and a few other games that he's published or worked for, he's always found a way to kind of make it about himself and get get a little controversial. And anytime he's proven wrong, or he's in the wrong, or he's caught up in a lie or whatever, dude doesn't admit it, doesn't come out and say it. He almost always dies on his hill every time. And I don't know why people keep fucking trusting this man. But he says, if you want the truth, here it is. He basically posted an old video about people asking the price point of post content for Borderlands 3 back when that game was in its prime in 18, 19?
Yeah. Pretty close.
So it's an old video, and he's saying, it basically doubling down on the fact that he has no idea of the prices, and that no matter what, people are going to play it if it's good stuff. Right? I think we need to address the elephant in the room here, and it's the fact that his comments are fucking disgusting, really.
Yeah.
I really don't see myself ever... And honestly, I see a lot of people avoiding the game now. They're like, okay, well, fuck you. We can't, we're not going to be forking out $80 for Borderlands 4, which is just a glorified, same old shit.
No
But at
different
$80.
from Call of Duty.
Exactly. And also the fact that, like, Borderlands, to my knowledge, Borderlands 1, 2, 3 have all had, like, we're not a fully finished game and usually padded out the endings with DLCs and, almost always concluded their stories or their, leftover content via DLCs. And there was, like, a boatload of guns and skins and cosmetics and shit that were sold to the player after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Am I mistaken in thinking that? Have you played these games? I've never really played these games.
I've played part of Borderlands 1. I've played the Tales from Borderland. I've played all the way through Borderlands
then I have
2 and 3.
I played Tales as well, but that wasn't really a Borderlands game, was it?
Yeah.
That was more of a Telltale game.
It was more of a Telltale game, but
those games, I was looking into it, and it's like Borderlands 3's DLCs alone is almost up to $200.
Oh yeah,
for the DLC. So you mean to tell me you're gonna sell me an $80 game that's not 100% a fully packaged game, and then turn around and be like, oh well, now pay me more money for a season pass. Pay me more money for a DLC. Pay me more money for gun skins. You want that cosmetic? Oh, pay me more money.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good look.
No. And then on top of that, like, the end content for Borderlands 3 in particular, it's literally just, hey, let's up the difficulty and you get more loot.
Yeah. So it's not much to do at the end game then.
No, it's not much to do.
I think the guy was right, though. It is very gross. He's also saying, he's leveling with the consumers and basically saying there are people that are, struggling and want to make it day to day. They don't want to hear you, talk about how, the tone deaf of like, oh, well, it was an $80 Genesis game. I want to point out two things. One, prices were a lot different, and inflation is a fucking thing. And the worth of a game now, $80 to in equivalent to back then, is almost like $200. That's ridiculous. So you're telling me, your games were $200. The one thing that's different between Borderlands and his example of Starflight for the Sega Genesis, I don't really care what your thoughts are to Sega Starflight. I barely fucking know the game. But I can tell you one thing. It was a complete packaged game. I don't see that being the case for Borderlands. And that game better come on the fucking disc if you're going to be charging $80 fucking for it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Man, I don't understand this mentality. And what's really sad is that, like, now gamers are really in this weird predicament where we're pretty much, this is a luxury, not a necessity.
No.
If $80 becomes the steep point, then guess what? Most games are not going to see a return investment in the first 3 months of their release.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if most of the gamers just wait until deals drop.
That's exactly what I'm thinking is going to happen. Here's an example that's currently happening right now. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a $69.99 game. It's down on sale for $59.99, so it's down like $10. Right?
Oof.
Give it another month or two, and I promise you the game will be $30. Right?
Yeah.
And watch, you're going to see a spike and an influx of people buying that game. Now, why will they buy that game? It's because, well, that's a decent price for people to play and spend money for that. And so the dynamic in the landscape of gaming shifts from, okay, what's the release date? Okay, I'll see you in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be picky, and they're going to pick and choose what they really, truly want to spend their money on, what they want to work towards and play. Me, personally, unless it's a fighting game that my friends are all excited to go play, or it's a Resident Evil title, I personally am not going to be playing too many games brand new day one anymore. In fact,
No.
I'm going to look towards the past. I'm going to play older titles. I'm going to pick up games I haven't, get to experience yet, or go back to my, retro library of PlayStation 2 and Xbox and, GameCube titles that I'm just sitting on and play through those to, break up the monotony of the months or the, between certain releases. Because I'm sure shit, I'm not going to pay that.
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and the only game that I'm honestly thinking about or have already gotten was Night Rain, and that's because it's like a $35 game.
Yeah. And I mean, but there's the thing is that that's something that you're looking forward to. You like Souls games, so you were going to play that. But like all the other games that are coming out, what's on your radar? Like I'm looking at like here, if I pull up the store on
Not
the
really.
Xbox.
There's only one other game that's already released, but other than that, there's not really much that I'm like really, really like, oh my God, I need this.
Exactly, exactly. Mind you, there are going to be, of course, you're going to see a ton of games get announced come this June when the Xbox showcase and all that starts to come around, and all the different companies that woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, the E3, post
Yeah.
E3 world that we live in.
hmm
But like I don't know, I'm not seeing too much. Like a game that I'm I'm kind of on the fence about too is the new Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I mean the Delta, but now it's called Snake Eater. Like they changed the name.
Yeah, and I mean, when it first got announced, I was sitting over like, oh yeah, I'll definitely get it. And now I'm sitting over like,
I mean
I don't know.
I've played it so many times on the PlayStation 2 and on my I have it on the Vita now as well, and then I have that Switch Master Collection that comes with
Ah,
1, 2, and 3. So for me, I'm like, I don't really like. I don't want to spend $70 for the same game, but it looks a little nicer.
yeah.
Because I know for a fact this is the one. This is one of those weird remakes where all they did was the graphics. In terms of gameplay, feel and fluidity of it all, it literally is the exact same game. Like they made sure to bring over like even the clunky weird way you like swap weapons and aim in first person and all that. That's all still there.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I don't know how that's gonna translate well to people that have been hearing for years. Oh, yo, this game, you know, this is the one. This is the one of the greater Metal Gear games, and then people, younger audiences are finally getting to play it, and then they're like, oh, what the fuck? Also, kind of weird that a remake. You're seeing all these collections with the fighting game collection that came out, and a couple other titles coming out, and it's weird to see Metal Gear be like, oh, fuck you, $70 for this, brand new game.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I'm flabbergasted by Randy. Honestly, it's nothing too new. Randy Pitchford's a bit of a moron. He's very tone deaf. I personally won't be playing Borderlands 4. I've never been a Borderlands fan, but I hope that a lot of people really take what he said and apply it. Apply it not in the way that he's expecting. Don't go playing the game because, oh, you want to make it happen because, oh, you need to experience the new Borderlands. Take a breather. Wait. See what else gets announced because this game got pushed up for a reason. They thought that they were going to go up against Grand Theft Auto and they needed to push their release date. Then Grand Theft Auto had to come forward and basically tell the industry at large, hey, we're actually coming out in May of next year. That let people settle down. But I promise you right now, there's other stuff that's coming. Xbox's event is right around the corner. PlayStation's going to start announcing some stuff soon here too, and I'm pretty darn sure that Nintendo will at least confirm, the rough time frame of which games like Pokemon ZX or whatever the new one. What's the new one called?
Yeah, I think it's ZX or Y. I don't remember.
Legends ZY.
Yeah, ZY.
ZY. Yeah. We could both be wrong, and we're just
Yeah, I'm checking
new
right
Pokemon
now.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to be announcing when that's coming out this year, and then of course the new Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. What a mouthful!
It's Pokemon Legends ZA.
Z-A. I see it too. What a weird title.
Yeah.
Ran out of a little fun fact for people. I actually put down money as a kid for a website and brand name for Pokemon Spork, Pokemon Fork, Spoon, and Spork. I thought that was really gonna happen at some point. I was a fucking idiot, dude. I wasted like $50. I was a kid. when I did
Oh,
that.
that's
I
fucked.
would have made more sense if I'd like gone with Jules or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel dumb. Lapless should have been something I should have done or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing too many games that I'm excited for this the rest of this year. I guess I will be playing RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. It's its own standalone DLC full length game, and it's only launching at like $30. And they'll give you a discount if you've played and already played the regular RoboCop Rogue City. So it's just like, oh, well, the goddamn dude, that's $15. $15 to go back and play some more RoboCop at half the cost. Ridiculous, dude.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
see,
Randy's over here trying to charge $80 for the same game you've already played 3 times before.
yeah, and I mean, I understand people, it's like, hey, I want to put this at $80, but realistically, if you think about it the other way, if you put a game at like maybe 40, 50, like
Well,
somewhere around that range, that's affordable, and you're gonna see a lot more people buying it than.
I'm gonna. You know what? We should test that theory. Mafia: The Old Country comes out August 8th, 2025. I'm looking at it right now, and it is retailing for $49.99. Now, this might be because it might be a little different. It's not your big open world like all the other Mafia games. It's like gonna be a tad bit more linear, with
Yeah.
an emphasis on stealth. But $50. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. With every game being like 70, $80, I think this might do a little bit better, especially with no Grand Theft Auto in sight. People might be more inclined to play this. That's the only game that's on my radar right now. I wanted to like and care for Metal Gear, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of burnt. I personally burnt myself out on Metal Gear years ago with Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater at least. So
Yeah.
that's on me. I don't think it won't do bad. I think it'll do good enough. But moving forward, $80 for games, I can't see it working in a lot of games' favors. I'm going to be honest with you, especially like I think our biggest example not only is just Borderlands and his tone deafness and the fact that Borderlands hasn't really evolved and changed all that much outside of new characters and abilities and shit. Take the new Doom, for instance. I mean, like, that game's short as shit. It's not a horrible game by any means, but, like, it ain't $80 either.
Yeah, no.
How are you finding it? You're playing it too? You've played it?
Yeah, I'm playing it right now, and I'm more than halfway through with it, and it's one of those things where I just turn on Spotify, and I'm just sitting
Kinda
there
zone out?
shooting, and yeah, just zoning out, just shooting and killing, and it's like, that's all I'm doing. Like, woo.
It's not much. I zoomed through that game way too quickly. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Well, that's it for this episode. I guess we're not. This is new for us. We're kind of trying this out for a change. It's a good little discussion talking about one topic in particular and seeing where it goes, and then kind of branching off there. But if you like what you heard, like it, let me know if this is something that you guys want to see in the future. Matthew, thank you so much for joining me on this little experiment.
Yeah, no problem. It's
It's
enjoyable.
Hope we can do more of these. If not, we'll see how the audio and the editing process goes. It's gonna be new for me, so I have no idea how to tackle this. But you know what, guys? If I do tackle it and it does work, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share with a friend, tell me to kill myself. You know the drill. You know the drill at this point. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Bye bye.